What's going on, YouTube? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Welcome to Texas Podcast. You know, I just want to do a little intro real quick, to these videos. Just real quick, just a recap and just so we can be on the same page. Everybody's asking me if Charles Hibbs indulged. He indulged. I mean, he said it in some of his videos. He's texted me, personal graphic detailed messages that that they come specifically from him because if a legal matter was ever to arise, the IP address would be connected to him. So it's not like me. I'm saying these type of stuffs or any of these allegations because they're serious allegations. You know what I mean? But even through, like I said before, I think the statute of limitations for those type of situations is 2 years. Unless you're 16 and under, there's no limit. So yes, he did indulge, but was it forced, willingly? I don't know. That's for him to tell us. And I'm going to question him more because these messages are graphic, and it paints a picture, and I understand why people are saying that I'm being biased. I totally get it, but it's not about the race. Maybe the way I came at this and I approached it was the wrong way. Maybe my emotions got to me. I am a confrontational person. I am an emotional person. I do care about stuff, If I didn't, it, but I do. So I get emotional. So the scenario that we're in right now, like how that at the Dante shows they call it the kangaroo court. So I should have approached it at that angle, you know, as the kangaroo court. I should have gone there, presented my evidence before I convicted him. Before I not convicted, before I made my own judgment. Let's say it that way. Even through I was already privileged through all this information. The due process of a kangaroo court is defendant throws his evidence, other defendant throws his evidence, and let it speak for itself. I came at it at the wrong way. I let my emotions get to me. So maybe that's why I probably came off my demeanor. So in a way, I owe Mark an apology for coming and approaching him that way. Even through I was privileged to know all that information from Charles Hibbs, I shouldn't have let that decide my own judgment at the time being, if we're in the scenario of a kangaroo court, because that's everybody got to do due process, you know. So yes, in a way, I understand now. I understand why people are saying my demeanor. I apologize, you know, but it's not about the race. Like I said, I'm an emotional person. I care about things, I guess, a little bit too much when I shouldn't, you know. So that's and these are two points that I want to bring up to the viewers, so y'all can make y'all's own decision, y'all's own point of view, own opinion. You know, Marx from the beginning, he said he did this for what you would call a support letter for his parole hearing, a support letter. A support letter can be from anybody, a loved one. It can even be from the victim's family. Support letter just saying, hey, he got a place to come. He got all this. He's been doing this. Basically, just to testify on your character that you're a changed person. So let's say, I know he didn't attend his hearing, but let's just say, for giggles, that the producers did write a support letter on his behalf. There should be at least an original or a copy, because even though he wasn't attending, they have his file. And once they get that file, I'm just saying, if there was a support letter in that file, they would look at it two ways. What type of documentary was it? Then they dig a little bit further in his file, and they look into all these disciplinaries, all these gunners, because he said he has about like 9 gun cases. He's a gunslinger. He's a so-called gunslinger, in his own words, that he got 9 gunslinging cases. So the parole board is not visually seeing Mark because he's not there. All they see is a file. They see this file that he participated in this type of documentary. And by looking into his disciplinary records, they're going to see that he wasn't the victim. They're just going to assume, but that's their job, to keep the people that are in jail that still haven't changed their ways. That's the whole point of the parole hearing. So no wonder he got denied so many times. That's just a quick point up. That's just one. He's been adamant about that. And number 2, I caught a little bit glimpse of the last live. I don't know when was it, yesterday or the day before, when he's actually saying that a member of that production team gave him contraband. It just doesn't make sense why a professional woman, career having, is walking around a correction facilities handing out contraband like candy, knowing that if that was true, that would be a felony. That's entering contraband into a secured facility. It's a felony. So I just don't see a professional woman throwing her life away for someone that's in prison just for a story or a documentary. It just doesn't make sense to me. And these are points that are coming out of his mouth, and people are just not paying attention to it, or they just don't want to believe it. But when you hear this type of stuff, I don't know, it's up to y'all. I'm just putting it out there, because maybe I was approaching it the wrong way. Maybe I should start using his own words against him, because it's not adding up, and those are some serious accusations. When you I'm pretty sure nobody on that director's team has a criminal record, maybe a speeding ticket, or who knows, but maybe at that time they didn't, because I'm pretty sure that they had to pass a criminal background to get into that facility. Those are just things that he throws out there to make another road. Oh, this next thing you know, he's going to say he was having an affair. But hey, that's for everybody out there, make their own opinion on the topic. I just did my part. I'm bringing another side of the story. I hope y'all enjoy the video. Stay tuned for more. Because Mark saying that, that's some serious accusations to a professional career. Maybe she's still doing documentaries. Maybe she still needs entries into secure facilities. And then she gets wind of this, that, hey, somebody on my team was introducing contraband. That's damaging to the career. But Charles said some words earlier that come out of his mouth that a lot of people were like, "Man, oh man, that's damaging his character." Nah, man, everybody got their own impression, their own opinion on old Mark. Everybody's seen the documentary. He's how can I say it? He's a public subject. He's out there. Documentaries produced. You can only make your own opinion. And for a victim that's been under the circumstances, they're deviants. A name doesn't categorize them. Their crimes are the similarities that they do. They choose the weak, the vulnerable, and the ones that they can't defend themselves. The crimes are the same. The similarities, what's the difference? The age. But the crime itself is the same thing. It's just the name. You know, for a victim, they can't distinguish one from another. Maybe a person that's never been traumatized by those abusive, they're all the same. It's just like a woman that's been traumatized and beaten over and over, and she gets into a new relationship. She got her guard up. Why? Because she feels you're gonna do the same thing to her. Y'all make y'all's own opinion out there, man. I'm just all I did was bring another part of the side of the story for y'all to enjoy, and I hope I'm doing my thing. Y'all stay tuned. That's all I can do. You know, I'm not gonna try to stay here and bash anybody else. You know, own eyes.
He did it to David Mendenhall. He did it to Gary Sanders. That's the guy we call Chicago. He did it to Barnett, David Barnett, and that's the guy we call Barn. And he did it to David Waters. Did it to him, along with another one of their friends, Ray Perkins. He was one of them that was doing it with Mark and them, helping out and all the rape and shit. And man, there's several of them. JT, Jerry Turner. Uh, the list just goes on and on, man.
It don't. It seems like it's like the naughty list. It don't stop, man. It's like this guy was. It's the list you don't want to be
this
on.
guy was doing this. He was doing this for years before I met him, and doing this years after I met him.
And you know, he got everybody fooled, man. You know that he didn't touch, he didn't do into another. No, he says he didn't do into nothing, man. No vices other than extortion. He didn't smoke.
No.
He didn't drink. He didn't do no heavy drugs.
I got the pack. I got the pack every month. I know he smoked. I scored the pack every month. Not him, not nobody else, me. I had it done, had it delivered, had it brought, had it put in my hand. So if that bitch is telling you that he's lying, I know what he smoked every month.
Okay, man. You know, there's a lot more stuff going on, man. Because I don't. Last night, Menden's ex-wife, man, she popped up on Dante on the other guy's network on his show. She popped up on the live, man.
Talking about Mindy's wife?
Yeah, the ex-wife, man. The child.
Right. Yeah.
You know that mother, man, and you know she. I understand, man. You know those guys are the, you know, the bottom of the bottom, man. You know, for when they do that to their kids or anybody's kids,
Yeah.
you know. So, but you know, let people know, man, that there was others than just Mendenhall.
Oh yeah, it was a lot of others. I mean, it was others than just this group we're talking about. That's going on everywhere in prison. I mean, you could go in that dorm just we lived in, and there was probably 40, 50 people in there doing the same thing. And that's in every dorm. It ain't just this group with Mark and Mandy and me and all us. Man, they shit 5, 6, 7 people in a group 100 times over up there.
And
That's everywhere, in every prison.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they're doing, man. They catch somebody coming off the back gate, and now this day and age, it don't even matter. Race is not even in it no more because the white folks is doing it too. They catch somebody coming in, they see what kind of drugs they want. They come over there. That's the game. You know, I can get you this. I can get you that. I got this. I got that. Oh, you do this? Here you go. Go and knock yourself out. Let me know what you think, and that's how it starts. Next thing you know, they're digging in mom and daddy's pocket. And that's just how it starts. So when you get that phone call, mama, they're threatening to kill me. I need this money sent ASAP. Double think what you're doing, because 9 times out of 10, they're not threatening to kill you. 9 times out of 10, your son's on board with the same game that they're running, and he's trying to run it on you too.
Yeah.
So he can get high. I mean, that's the bottom line. I'll call mama and tell her they're trying to kill me, and she'll send me some money, and I can go get high.
Yep.
And that's exactly what's going on. That's what they're doing. And then when mama can't send no more money, then here come the vultures and the predators and the perverts. Now they've got the boy right where he needs to be, right where they want him. Because mama ain't there no more.
And what usually happens, man? How long before you can't pay your debt, man? Is that the only way that they expect you to pay your debt off? There's no other way to pay the debt off in there. There's no
Oh no,
cleaning.
there ain't none of that. You're gonna become a homosexual, and you're still gonna pay your debt off. I mean, that's just the bottom line. You're gonna get used and raped and passed around until your debt gets paid off.
And Mark, and what's, people are gonna want to know in detail, man. Mark did more than just extort and bully people. He was indulging in every vice that you can hear about.
Oh yeah, he was smoking weed. He was doing heroin. He was eating Suboxone. He was doing everything that was going on in that prison. He was doing it. We was all doing it. He was doing it too.
Okay, because now he's over there trying to act like he's a God-fearing man, and I just want everybody to hear it from you. You know what I mean?
Well, I tell you what, whatever God he's talking to, I don't want no part of that God.
Yeah, I agree, man.
I don't, man. Because if I got to do all that to be a God-fearing man, I just will not be one.
Yeah. And
because it makes me sick that people just lie. Why can't you do? That's why we're all screwed up now, because we can't be a man and accept the responsibilities of our own actions.
Yep. When
that's the bottom line.
When was the first year you ran into Mark, man? When did you actually meet him?
I met him in 2004.
And how many boys did he have then?
He had 3 then.
Who were they? Do you remember their names?
David Mendenhall, Gary Sanders, and David Barnett.
And who would you say was his main one, man? Like
Mendenhall.
And how would they sleep together, man? Like, because he's denying that bunk is too small for 2 men.
That's a lie. They'll curl up together and tie up like a knot in there. I've seen them sleep in the same bed. They reserve TV chair beside each other. They eat together. They walk together. They do everything together. Everything together.
Everything.
Yeah. So
okay.
I'll just put it to you this way, Mark. You just as big a sissy as Mendenhall is.
Why do you say that, man?
The only difference between him and Mark is he's got enough people to give him a backbone to pull this shit off, and Mendenhall don't.
But I mean, how? Because
and they're all that way. His brother was that way. He was that way too. Money was that way. They're all that way.
And what do you mean by that way?
They ain't just keeping them boys right there because them boys want to be there. They're keeping them boys there because them boys are getting satisfaction out of it too.
So you're saying that
they're swapping.
Mark at one time would be receiving at times.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So you seen Mark get penetrated by who was it? Was it Mindy?
Mendenhall, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Mendenhall.
By Mendenhall.
Okay. And you were actually in the cell looking out the window.
I was actually in the cell, hot rattling for the police. In the cell with them.
Man,
this ain't nothing I walked by and heard. This is something I was in the cell and saw.
With your own eyes.
Yeah. And then, I don't even, like I said earlier, I don't get no satisfaction off telling this right here. What's killing me is, if you did it, then why lie about it? Because if you just tell the truth about it, it'll go away. It'll go away.
It would, man.
Ain't nobody. I ain't talking about this shit in 30 years. And when we get through with all this right here, I probably won't talk about it ever again. Because
Nah, man.
the life of Mark Moore, I could, don't, if he got steamrolled right here in the parking lot beside me, I'd keep right, well, I wouldn't lose not a bit of sleep over it. Wouldn't bother me not one way or another. It don't
And
impact my, he impacted my life 30 years ago. Nobody will ever get the gratification of doing that to me again, ever in life.
and what happened to the other boys, man? Like what did Mark ever get any how can I say did he ever get any kind of trouble from his organization for doing that type of stuff?
No. Man, they would meet and decide what type of stuff that they were going to do to them boys. Nothing was
That's,
in the dark between them guys. Nothing was between what they were doing to them boys. This was all a plan from get-go, from start to finish. And they sat around, decide what they're going to do, who they're going to do it to, what role this one's going to play and that one's going to play. And that's what they done. They really plotted up on somebody.
like set a scenario, man. Put a scenario in place on how they would get somebody, man. Like
Okay, look this right here. Let's just say me and you, we're out to get this guy over here to just come in the gate. We're out to get his money. Whatever we can get out of him, we're out to get it. Well, that's how we're going to do it. Couple of days, we'll see him around the camp. We'll peep him out, scope him out, see what he does, who he's talking to. You kind of get a feel of what he's, what kind of person he is, what kind of character he's got. You'll get somebody, some white boy. We'll go pay somebody that he's all right with it. We see he's all right, find out something about him. What he likes to smoke. Does he like to do drugs? What does he like to sissies? What does he like? Then we'll find out. He likes weed. You might pull up on him and say, hey, man, say you like his weed. Try this out. I got it. Come shop. I might pull up on him tomorrow with a handful of Suboxone or pills, man. Dude said you like, and just one thing after another, man. I see you ain't doing no good, man. Don't go borrow nothing from nobody else, man. You need anything here, I got it. There's your cigarette to smoke, all this, that, and that's just how it starts. And then before it's over with, me and you done got this boy in so much goddamn debt, he don't have much of a choice but to come over here to us and handle this or go to the officers, one of the two. And that's how it starts. He'll get over here, oh man, if you'll come on in and turn this trick and let me get off, man, I ain't gonna tell nobody. Won't nobody know. Won't take but a minute, blah, blah, blah. And then there it goes. Now he thinks the debt's dead. Then when it's over with, man, I did. Oh no, you got to keep doing that until the debt's paid. And that's just how it goes, man. And that's what they would do. That's how it goes. And if they buck on them, then they're gonna beat the shit out of them.
What kind of punishment did you see Mark dwell out to his boys, man? What would you see him like? What was the type of things and punishments that he would like to do to them?
He would like to slap them and make one of them stand in a damn corner like a 2-year-old. That's what he did. Just control them. Just a control freak.
And what would happen, man? Let's say what would happen to that person if that person would just say, "Fuck it, I'm not going against the wall. I'm just standing here. I'm not."
I'm telling you exactly what would happen. They would beat him up, or he would beat them up, and he'd go to jail. Because that's what happened to me. They tried that with me. I said, "No, man, I ain't doing none of that shit." Look, and I'm not saying this in bragging, and I'm not saying this in false, and I'm not none of that. I whooped all 3 of them in there. I don't know who y'all think y'all are. This is not going down right here because I'm going to die about this.
Because you said that in the last video, and people and they're like, how did this guy beat up 3 people? But I'm you fought two boys, and I'm pretty sure you probably got a punch out from Mark, and the cops came and got you away. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's basically what happened. I whooped the 2 boys, and me and Mark was throwing hands when the police came.
Yeah, but that was more of a move for you to catch out. Now
for me though, I'm just being real, man. I got tired of giving up all my folks' money. and all this, that, and the other. So I thought, okay, well, this is what's gonna happen. I'm gonna just get over here and show my goddamn ass and whoop whoever I can whoop, and they're gonna come get me and put me in jail, and that's gonna be the end of this shit. I won't have to say nothing about nothing. And that's exactly what happened. I figured out how to get myself away from this without nobody getting in no trouble. And that's what I done.
And did he ever get any cases, man? Any disciplinary? Did Mark ever get in trouble for that?
Yeah, he got plenty of disciplinaries. He's got sexual misconduct disciplinary, sexual disorder. He's got all kinds of disciplinaries for that shit. Like I said, everything's public record in the DOC. You can get all that.
He says he was a more of a gunner, man, like a more of a gunslinger.
No, he wasn't no gunslinger. He wasn't no gunslinger, a shit slinger.
Yeah, he was pounding them boys down, huh?
He was pounding them down, and they were pounding him down.
Okay, man. I mean, because people want to know this type of stuff, man. They want to know if he was in there doing it, But you're saying that
you know what?